Hi, my name is Jacoby Ertman, and today I will be summarizing the use of giving voice to values methodology related to the Bennie and the Jets case study. Jet Energy Company provides electricity to 7 million customers in the southern states. State regulations allow Jet Energy a maximum rate of return on operating income of 12.5% of all electricity sales. If Jet Energy earns more than that 12.5%, regulators can reduce the rate that Jet can in turn charge their customers. Bennie has been the accounting manager at Jet for 2 years now and has identified irregular accounting entries. The entries deal with reclassified items that reduce the company's earnings to avoid state regulators cutting their rates. Jet Energy currently receives safety rebates from the insurers of their nuclear plants. The cost of the insurance premiums are expensed by Jet. However, the rebates that are earned are not booked into the same expense accounts, but instead booked into non-operating accounts that fall below the operating income line. These rebates are between $26 and $30.5 million each year. Booking these rebates below the operating income allowed Jet to state an operating income within the maximum rate of return and avoid rate cuts to customers. In order for Bennie to bring his concerns out into the open, I feel he must first research the issue. First, he needs to understand how long it's been going on. Second, he needs to know how much the rebates each year that it's happened. And third, to know how that would have changed the operating income had it been stated properly. I feel the research is important to support his discussions with management, as well as if he has to take the issue all the way to the Utilities Commission. These types of scenarios always come with additional questions with such a massive claim of wrongdoing. So Bennie really needs to have his ducks in a row and be prepared to have, with all the information he can find, to have a very informed conversation, as well as document his steps along the way. Once Bennie has collected that information, he must then discuss it with the controller, Sarah Higgins. At this point in time, Bennie will be able to get a feel for how the company will move forward and what the company attitude is towards this practice. If the controller, Sarah, dismisses Bennie's concerns, he must go ahead and reach out to the CFO and let the CFO know about his findings as well as his discussion with the controller. Bennie will need to continue this route until he has addressed his concerns with the CEO, the COO, the audit committee, and all the board of directors, which happens to include the audit committee. If Bennie finds that he continues to be dismissed and management fails to take action to correct these entries, Bennie then needs to take his findings and the details of his conversation with management to the North Carolina Utilities Commission. Using the giving voice to values methodology can help Bennie frame his argument. The main ethical value at stake here is the public interest. 7 million customers being overcharged for electricity for years is certainly a cause for uproar. While it's not uncommon for individuals to have only one source for each major utility, it doesn't justify being overcharged. Developing his argument, Bennie must anticipate the reasons and rationalizations that management will use to explain or justify their actions. Management may try to claim this was an isolated incident, arguing that it's just this once and has never been done before. Management may also argue that it's expected and standard practice within the industry and that other utility companies regularly hide their rebates, so why shouldn't they? Management may also argue that it doesn't really hurt anyone because the amount per household is small. Management may also claim ignorance, acting as though they didn't know what was happening or that they didn't know it was wrong to be done that way, or that they are just doing things how they've always been done in the past. Bennie needs to be prepared to quit his job, face retaliation, and become a whistleblower. Each individual within upper management has a reputation that is on the line with their families, their colleagues, their direct reports, and other managers, and may face consequences up to and including termination due to this dishonesty. Bennie needs to arm himself with the right levers that will effectively voice his values and help him with the most powerful and persuasive response he can use to address management's reasons and rationalizations. The loss of public trust in the utility company will do irreparable harm, and the potential bonuses that management gets isn't worth the harm that will come from the loss of jobs, business, or customer faith. If, after all that, Bennie finds that management still fails to act, then Bennie must take his concerns to the Utilities Commission. Hope you'd enjoy this summary of the case and action steps for Bennie, and I appreciate your time. Thanks for listening.